In an election with record spending, Trump advertises less than Biden. Ultra visible on the ground, Donald Trump is much more discreet in television commercials than his Democratic rival Joe Biden, leading in the polls in a U.S. presidential campaign that will, however, shatter advertising spending records. As of November 3, the long-awaited election day, the former vice president of Barack Obama will have spent twice as much as the Republican billionaire on television ads, according to data compiled since September 1 by the specialist firm Advertising Analytics. Even more striking, Donald Trump has since the start of the school year either completely or greatly reduced the funds invested in television spots in key states which could decide the winner in 2 weeks, underlines John Link, vice president of Ad Analytics, in the Midwest, Iowa, Ohio, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and in Pennsylvania, in particular. Yet it was thanks to victories on the wire in several of these states that Donald Trump had won his surprise victory in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. And the Republican president is struggling in the polls today. The Trump team has certainly reinvested some of these funds in other Sun Belt states to the south, such as Florida, which will be crucial to win the White House, and Georgia. But his total weekly expenses are reduced, John Link analyzes. Joe Biden has instead extended the map of his investments in states that are less traditional for a Democrat, like Georgia, which has not voted Democratic in the presidential election since 1992. Clever strategy, because he does not need these expenses, as Donald Trump claims, or as a sign that his coffers are empty. The trend is risky anyway, according to John Link. TV spots, especially on major national channels, have the most impact because they reach the widest audience, he says. They thus make it possible to better reach the rare, and very courted voters who have not yet decided for whom to vote, in particular by speaking to seniors. Proof of the importance of advertising. The historic amount of spending expected by Advertising Analytics, advises John Link, between $2.75 billion and $2.8 billion. This budget includes the already extraordinary expenses recorded during the Democratic primary, when billionaire Michael Bloomberg spent lavishly to finance his unsuccessful candidacy. We will win. It doesn't make sense to run TV spots in states where we know we're going to win, Samantha Zager, a spokesperson for Donald Trump's campaign team, told AFP. The Republican relies on an ultra-precise database of American voters, which allows him to use spots in the most strategic, surgical way possible, she said. And Donald Trump had already spent less than Hillary Clinton 4 years ago. It may be time for the mainstream media to accept our winning strategy and begin to wonder why Joe Biden is spending unnecessarily on TV spots, says Samantha Zager. Biden richer. Except this time the tempestuous Republican does not have as much free media coverage on the mainstream media, because of the pandemic, and the hiatus in his campaign when he himself contracted the COVID-19, he did so far fewer meetings than 4 years ago. And even if the showman intends to multiply his campaign acts in the home stretch, the big chains dedicate much less time to them than 2016, when it was not uncommon to see them filming the empty stage for a long time, while waiting for this new phenomenon. The state of the finances of the candidates can therefore mainly explain the different levels of investment. Joe Biden has just completed 2 months of record fundraising, and had $432 million in the bank at the end of September, against $251 million for Donald Trump. In collaboration with the Republican Party, however, the Trump team expects to increase its advertising investments by 40% in the last few weeks, compared to the planned budget. Ads are still important, acknowledges Chris Jackson of the Ipsos Institute. Not because they will change people's minds, but because you still have to convince your voters to vote, he told AFP. All the more so in this chaotic year shaken by the pandemic. If Joe Biden manages to mobilize his voters and things don't change in the polls, he is in a good position to win this election.